Hi guys, welcome to the video for game week 9 and the wildcard is active. I have played my wildcard, so I'm going to go through my old team, explain why I've done it, who I've taken out, and also show you guys the new squad as well. So at the moment I am on 484 points with a ranking of 478k, and I haven't used any of my chips, and I thought this is a good time to use it after the international break. Loads of players I wanted to get out, loads of kind of fixture changes. So I thought, yep, this is the best time for me to do it. So on screen you can see my old team, so my old squad, and out of that whole squad, the only players I've chosen to keep are Michael Keane. Everton have 3 green fixtures coming up, so he should perform well. Same reason I've kept Calvert-Lewin in. Calvert-Lewin's been good all season as well, so no need to change him. Jamal Lewis is another one who I've kept. The reason is Newcastle have a good fixture run, and he is very cheap, and he's guaranteed to play as well. So I've kept him, and I've also kept Salah. So the news today is that Salah is flying back, or he's flown back to Liverpool, and Klopp hasn't confirmed whether he will or won't feature this week against Leicester, but even if he doesn't, he will feature the next game week, and Liverpool have a good run of fixtures as well, so there's no reason to take him out. He's been in great form. I think his best start, like goals and assists wise, to a season, so absolutely no reason to take Salah out. So I'll go through the other players and say why I have taken them out. So I did previously go with 2 keepers, which I could swap game week in, game week out. But this time I've decided to go for 1 keeper and then put a cheap goalkeeper in to save up money elsewhere. So that's the reason why I'm getting rid of McCarthy and Lloris. Lloris also is very expensive, and Spurs' fixture run is horrible coming up. So, and they didn't keep clean sheets either. So that will explain why Lloris, Son, and Kane are coming out, just because of the ridiculous fixture run they've got. Chilwell was probably the only player that I really didn't want to transfer out, but the cost combined with his potential injury doubt combined with Chelsea's fixture run, I thought I could use the money elsewhere. So I may regret that one, but there you go. Chilwell out. Ajay, I brought him in initially, I think, because West Brom had a decent run, but they concede every single game, and he doesn't even play every game as well. So he's gone out. Connor Cody. Wolves aren't as good defensively as they were last season. He did well for me though, kept some clean sheets, but I think it's time now to get rid of him. Their fixture run changes as well. Barkley, so I only brought him in recently and he has done well, but I've decided to use the money elsewhere, so I've got rid of him. Reed, again, he was in because he was just a cheap midfielder to fill up space. So I've explained why. Podence, again, Wolves' fixture run have changed, but also I've realised he only plays for like the first 60 minutes, and then whether he does well or not, he gets subbed off and Traore comes on. So there's not much point in having him. Werner, again, it could go either way with him. He could do really well or not. However, I think his best position is up front, but Chelsea tend to play him from the left because Pulisic is injured, so I think there's a chance he may get less goals. Also, there's 3 or 4 in the team like that can score, so Ziyech, you've got Tammy, you've got Mount, you've got Havertz, and you've got Werner. So it's a team where goals are most likely going to get spread around rather than just having like the one person who bangs them in. Calvert-Lewin, like I said, keeping him, and Harry Kane, I explained earlier, Spurs fixture run, although I think Kane probably may still do well because he's been on form all season and he looked quite good in the international break as well. So, yeah, that's the reasons why I'm getting rid of those guys. So the new team, there you go. So the new team is, so in goal I brought Martinez in from Aston Villa. Great fixture run. They've probably got the best fixture run, which is why I brought in 3 players from Villa. They played really well in their hard fixtures, which they had early in the season, and now they've got a decent run, so they could do really well. So my plan is to leave Martinez in goal for most of like the next 5 to 10 weeks. And because I've done that, I've then looked for the cheapest goalkeeper, and I've just gone for a £4 million Forster, just to make up the numbers, really. Back 5 or squad 5 defenders. Keane stays. Soufal I brought in again. West Ham, decent run, and they've been playing really well. So I just wanted to go for one of the 2 wing backs, him or Matsuaku. And whenever I've watched the games, Soufal seems to be the one who's more likely to get assists. So I've gone with him. And again, 4.5 cheap. 3.9, you could go with any 3.9 defender, as that is the cheapest price you can get a defender for. I will never play 5 at the back. I'll either play 3, and the maximum I play is 4, so the 3.9 defender won't ever play. It doesn't have to be Nico Williams, it can be any. If you want to save a place for another Liverpool player, in case you want to have 3, you could bring in any 3.9 defender because they won't play. Diaz 5.5, so I definitely wanted a Man City defender based on their fixtures, and it was between, Laporte and Walker too expensive, so I had to choose between Diaz and Cancelo, same sort of prices. The 2 reasons I went for Diaz is, 1, I think he's a more guaranteed starter, whereas Cancelo, there's a chance he may get rotated out with Mendy and Zinchenko as well. Diaz and Laporte are the first choice centre-backs, so they should play every game. And the other reason was during the international break, Diaz did score 2 goals. Next one, Lewis. Again, I've explained I've kept him from before. Then midfield, Fernandes is just purely based on United's fixture run. I still expect United to perform poorly and concede, but Fernandes has been, since he signed for them, goals and assists, very good. So brought him in. Salah explained. Grealish, probably the most talked about player over the last few days. He had a very good England debut, and he's been playing very well in the league. And like I said, Aston Villa have the best fixture run, and he's the captain, so definitely bringing him in and keeping him for probably a long time. Again, like I said, with Diaz, I want to bring a Man City midfielder also in, so between Sterling and De Bruyne. Sterling has a knock, I think, but it's hard to say whether he's going to play or not, but De Bruyne is guaranteed to play every game, and he's on pens as well, so I've gone with him. And then I went with Jota, I always tend to have one player in my squad who's just a bit out there and that no one else has. I think I went with Jota because against Liverpool played with all 4 against Man City away, which is the toughest fixture in our season, and Jota played in that, so I think he will play in most Prem games, but he will definitely feature in most. I'm not 100% sure if he would start in most, but again, he's just there as the 5th midfielder. Up front, so Calvert-Lewin I've explained. Watkins, again, same goes for him as Grealish. He's had a great start to the season. Aston Villa's run, and he's 6.1, so pretty easy choice to go for him. And the other one I went for was AU. Now, again, a lot of people probably don't have this guy, and when he's fit, he does always start up front for Palace, and Palace have 3 green fixtures coming up. A bit of a gamble on him, but yeah, I've decided to go with him, and that used exactly all my transfer money I have, so I have 0 in the bank and all spent. In terms of what I would consider changing is the 2 players I potentially want to bring in at some point, depending on how they perform, is Wilson from Newcastle. There was an update today that there's a chance he may be fit for the weekend, but they've got Chelsea anyway, so I wouldn't have brought him in for that game, so may look at him for next week. And Antonio as well, great start to the season. And West Ham's fixtures look really good as well, so he's one to think about as well. So there you go, that's my wild card done. Pretty excited. I think I've got a good squad going forward. Let me know what you think. Have you guys used your wild card? What players have you brought in for the game week 9? Yeah, let me know. Drop a like and subscribe.